telling you, when conditions work out right, there is nothing in my opinion that compares. That is wild grain sorghum. Look at the size of that plant. It's a lot of work, but it is worth it. I can already see the wood ducks bombing over the dam right here. Little Rhea sitting over here and us blasting and cutting into them. I'm getting excited. Look at this back here behind me. Even with all the rain, we are managing to control the water in here in our rice swamp, but this year it's not just a rice swamp. Let me go show you what I'm talking about. All the dark green, that is our agricultural rice, and a lot of it. I do have a little bit of millet coming in. We're gonna look at it in a second, but this is what I'm excited about. I have never water seeded wild grain sorghum into a standing swamp before and drained it off, and look how well it's doing. This is all wild grain sorghum. This is the rice right here. This is the grain sorghum. It's doing really well, and we have got a bunch of it. Right side by side here, rice, grain sorghum, poison ivy, and then we've got a lot of brown top millet that's already seeded out, which is way early, but I was curious how well brown top would do in the soil conditions, and it's done very well. So answer is yes, you can plant brown top millet in a swamp as long as you keep the water off of it. So right here, side by side, rice, brown top millet, wild grain sorghum, we have got an absolute duck buffet. I thought this area seemed a little bit light with the rice, and it is. I must have just flat out missed this area right here at the beginning, which is pretty odd for me. I'm normally pretty thorough, but came in here and sowed it with brown top, and we have completely flushed it out. I don't think this seed will be here come duck season. Songbirds will probably strip it out, but the sorghum is coming in right behind it, and there is just a little bit of rice. But I am very happy in the first week of August here. We have got a lot of groceries in here. This weather we've had is perfect for rice. We've had some water level fluctuation, but overall the soil has just stayed really wet. Shallow standing pool here. This rice loves that condition. Got a little bit of smartweed coming in here. That's fine. We'll take that. A little bit of Japanese millet coming in here. You can see what it looks like. Significantly taller than the brown top millet. So you can tell it's just a lot happier in these wetter conditions. Brown top seems to be doing better up here where it's higher and drier. Once you get down here in the wet soils, that's where your Japanese millet's going to thrive. You can see just how much water is rushing in here. So this might be a mute point here. I've got a 2-inch trash pump running. I fill it up. I leave it. It pumps for about 3 hours. I don't love it. It's racket, noisy, but it's what we need to keep this little bit of water off the pool down here. We're trying to get one last stand of rice growing in here. But guys, I'm telling you, when conditions work out right, there is nothing in my opinion that compares to rice when it comes to a beaver swamp, where you've got really wet soils, fluctuating water levels, very eutrophic, nutrient-rich conditions. It is really tough to beat this rice. Second to that probably would be your Chippewa, whatever millets, your Japanese millets. They seem to do pretty well in wet soils, but this rice is absolutely thriving. The higher and drier areas, brown top millet's doing well, and the grain sorghum is doing very well. Now talk about planting heavy and planting timing being important to snuff out the competition. You can see there are some sedges and blunt rush trying to come in here, but because the brown top is so thick, it's having a really hard time getting up and out of here. Some of the more sparsely planted areas, that torpedo grass and the sedges are coming right up through it. So it just tells you a heavier planting density, and the timing of your drawdown can really help with weed suppression. That is wild grain sorghum. Look at the size of that plant. I'm just super excited with this grain sorghum. I have never done this, but I am going to start doing that. I think I cut 100 pounds of rice in here, a little over an acre. I cut 100 pounds of rice with 15 pounds of grain sorghum. And this area was seeded the heaviest, but it's also the driest area, and that's where it's doing the best. So I think I'm going to continue to do that. I don't see any downside to mixing in this sorghum with the rice. Next year, I will plan to do the exact same. I don't see any sorghum anywhere else in here. I'm only seeing sorghum in here where it was seeded the heaviest, and it's the driest. It's the first thing to lose water, and it was seeded the heaviest. So we may have a really poor germination rate because there's not 15 pounds of sorghum right here. It was spread evenly over this whole swamp. So it does tell me it is going to have a condition that it favors the most, and it looks like it's going to be the highest and driest. But fellas, it's a lot of work, but it is worth it. I can already see the wood ducks bombing over the dam right here. Little Rhea sitting over here and us blasting and cutting into them. The songbirds will probably strip out a lot of this millet. That's okay. our main goal is to have all this dark green you see, all that in rice production, with the grain sorghum coming in behind it. And of course, we've got some Japanese millet out there as well. We've got 4 different types of planted crops in here, all kind of at a different growth stage, all doing their own thing. Brown top millet, rice, wild grain sorghum, and Japanese millet. Actually, some volunteer smartweed as well. So there are 5 species in here that ducks desire. Moist soil drawdown, a nice heavy-duty planting, control your water levels, you can have a duck hole. Let's not forget, I've got another almost acre of wool grass at the upper end up here. Some people say that's better duck food than I get it credit for. I've never seen the ducks really eating on it. That's just my opinion, especially when there's so much other grain out here for them. But I do have an acre of wool grass as well that is seed bearing, so that's worth noting. The beavers have completely abandoned the water control structure back here. They are out of here. The lodges are not active. I think they've really given up on this one, which is thank the Lord, because I don't have time to be in here trapping, messing with these. And what did you just say?
That's a lot of
whatever it is?
Yeah.
Hudson comes around the corner and goes, wow, that's a lot of whatever it is. And he is right. Hudson, that is wild grain sorghum, rice, brown top millet, and Japanese millet. And we got a lot of it, don't we? Pretty cool. What do you think, Tucker? Looking good, isn't it? Like I said, right now we're just getting greedy, pumping a little bit of water down there, trying to salvage some planting at the dam, but it's hard to complain. We've got what we need up here, this other upper 1 acre here, and we got another 1 acre of moist soil and wool grass at the upper end that'll flood too. So that's it, just a quick update. We're our first week of August. We've got a lot of food in here. The rice is well on its way. The grain sorghum is very much impressing me. I'm pretty excited about that. Pumping a little water down here, but it's a quick and dirty update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, you came back for another video, please consider doing so. It helps me out, lets me know you guys enjoy this. Until the next video, really appreciate you guys watching. God bless and take care.